We have all seen that person who starts a race like this, and right at the first corner, the person does this. Well, if that's your case, or if you want to advance in your racing games, stay tuned to these 3 tips that will improve your driving, including a bonus tip at the end of the video. The first tip has to do with the way you drive. It is incredibly common to see people starting the race full throttle, accelerating too much and losing control, going super fast but unable to brake to the first corner, missing another car by inches and ending up off the track on the sand. The poor guy tries to get out, but the gravel is purposefully made to slow down. It's a disaster that infuriates anyone. But after much suffering, the player learns and no longer makes these mistakes. This is what I call destructive evolution. The opposite of this is when the driver does not go out destroying everything ahead until learning to drive either the car or on the track. It's constructive evolution, which is based on making an initial lap very slowly just to see how the car behaves, playing with it around the corners, seeing how it responds in light braking. This gives very important tips on how to control this car. In the following laps, you can accelerate more and have more confidence because the sequence of turns is already memorized a bit more. From then on, the important thing is to try never to get off the track and find the limit of the car by building over the previous laps. Just remain calm when the car inevitably gets off track and start refining the technique again, feeling the satisfaction of evolving this way. To do so, we come to our next tip. Use the racing line. Frequent video game players often know this racing line as a difficulty or assistance option that is configured to come standard with the game. This way, many drivers get used to seeing this line, but often without knowing its real meaning. The race line is the fastest route through the track. Often, it does not follow the shortest path, but rather the most balanced way for cars to have grip on both turns and exits. In games, still, the line usually has indications of acceleration and braking zones. That is, it's an important guide to learn the track and to not forget to brake in some corners. To best use this tool, the driver should follow as closely as possible the indication on track, braking at the indicated points and staying on it during turns, as well as under acceleration. Usually, when this line turns blue, the drivers can accelerate as much as they want, but when it turns yellow or red, it is time to slow down. Many may imagine that once you get used to the line, it is a difficult task to walk the track without it. And it's true, whenever you get a boost in difficulty, the game gets harder for a moment, maybe for a few races, but after a short period of adjustments, you realize that you can drive without the aid of racing lines. You just have to realize that car tires leave a darker black spot on the parts of the track where they run the most. The line has always been there, after all, only you didn't know how to see it. This brings us to the next tip, having more independence on the track. It's one thing to race with all the assists on, like when we first get into a new game or a new car. Another thing is to drive with all them turned off. The difference is day and night. If you have never tried to take the assists out and then take them out completely, you'll soon realize that the car you are driving is virtually impossible to control. Before, the accelerator made you go fast, but now it seems to make you spin in circles. This is due to an assistance called traction control. It inhibits the loss of grip of the car tires with the ground. Without it, you do a burnout whenever you accelerate. To solve this problem, simply accelerate in a controlled manner, giving more and more gas if the car does not start to skid. If it starts, just come off the gas. This, like all the other car control techniques, It's not important when the driver plays with the assist zone, so the driver doesn't learn to control the car and always relies on these devices while driving. The main message of this tip is that you understand what the assists are doing for you and start controlling the car on its many aspects. Furthermore, you will find it fun to understand what an aid does and how the driver can get around it, and so on until you get the hang of each assist, becoming a driver independent of assists and feeling the adrenaline rush with each movement of the car. And for those who stayed until the end, show this video to a friend who likes racing games for the bonus tip: having fun. The most important tip for any game or activity is this: without fun, we have no desire to keep doing it. So go ahead and play just to destroy the other cars. Get off the track, come back, push the others. Have a good laugh playing with 2 or more friends. Do all of that drifting. Don't even care about winning the race. At the end of the day, it's only worth it if you're happy. And if the game is already boring, that's what aids and difficulties are for, to be challenged. And when you no longer want to, watch a bit of Racing Legends to relax or learn, and come back, challenging the gamers you love to always improve and end up becoming a racing legend.